Folks, I'm running out of space on this drive on this cell phone, and Samsung is so screwed up that they really can't help me. Their tech support, I buy their products, but they're just horrible on the phone, and I don't have time to do backup, so I'm going to end up not doing videos for a little while. Which is okay, because I'm withdrawing from society. That's the message that the universe is giving me. Yeah, Yahweh speaks for the whole, for and through the whole thing. So that's the message I'm getting. I'm fed up with women. I think most of us real men are. Women don't have anything to offer anymore. Yet, I want to tell you that in this motorhome in right now, it needs a woman's touch. Well, my mother did a little bit of this and picked this out, and it does need a woman's touch. The other motorhome doesn't need a woman's touch. At least I don't think so. I mean, it's just gorgeous and beautiful the way it is, and I am going to enjoy the extra room that I have. And I can see I'm already running out of room in it. It's small. But you know, I'm one step above being homeless. Well, maybe 2 steps. Not very far. And I'm probably a step above trailer trash. Maybe 2, I don't know. It's not very far. So I knew that I would have to fight off co-pilots when I get this lovely motorhome. And of course, now they're being lovey-dovey with me. And I'm like, I'm not interested. You don't have anything to offer me. You are not attractive in the least. I mean, you're not exactly totally ugly on the outside, but on the inside, you're really ugly. I don't want to be around you. I don't really want to talk to you. I don't want to smooze with you. I just don't care anymore. You see, the reason we men are going off is because we're designed to be bulls, off alone by ourselves, standing in the field. We're not really meant to be dominated in a female-run world. Yeah, we live in a matriarchy. Don't kid yourselves. And women are extremely, extremely, extremely destructive. They don't build much. Yeah, they're the bearers of life, but that's kind of about it. They don't know how to raise a child properly. That's why you end up with the prisons and the penitentiaries. They can't rear good citizens. They're just not capable of it. I'm serious. You know, when you only have a 30% success rate, do you think that's any kind of a track record? That's their success rate for raising children, male children successfully. And I got news for you. It's worse with the female children. We have no studies on them, so I can't cite anything. But I can tell you that 70% of single household parent, head of household female, are failures. And that's why your prisons are so big, and that's why there's so much crime out there. So that's just the way it is. But we men have to use one word now. No. And mean it, and walk. And not put up with the bullshit. My God. The stuff these women do and the stuff they don't realize, the destructiveness, is just overwhelming. And of course, it's your fault, they want to say. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's because you don't have any responsibility in this at all, and you're destroying this society. What other group is professional victims? They're destroyers as well. If you run into somebody and they're a victim, get away from them. I mean, you might want to listen and befriend them a little bit, you know, and if you hang out with somebody long enough, they might open up to you. And it's like, but that shouldn't be the bulk of the friendship. That shouldn't be the bulk of what you focus on. You don't want to hang out with people that dwell upon being victims, because I'm going to tell you, they will destroy you. They will take you down. They will drag you down. So Yahweh is pressuring me to leave the society. I don't have many viewers. Oh, I've got a whopping 64 subscribers, 605 videos. I got one of my comments, shorts, the minute-long stuff was taken down. I actually told the truth. But you need to understand something, that this YouTube is not a separate private corporation. Just looks that way. It's actually a government program. This is owned and run by your government. Just like Facebook is owned and run by your government. So your government has gone haywire. It's off kilter. They're violating the Constitution all the time. So when are you going to wake up and withdraw from society? I'm going to do it. I've got to renew my passport. I think I'll go over to Thailand. I knew some Thai women in graduate school, and they were very sweet. They were a heck of a lot nicer than our people. They had hierarchy, though. One head was always higher than the other one. And over in this society, we claim everybody's the same. Everybody's equal, which is a big lie. When they tell you all men are born equal, I'm sorry. God gives us all different talents, including Dr. Kent being a dumbass in some ways. Where do I have problems? In testing the spirits, in being gullible. Yeah, I admit it. And then I got young jackasses making comments on my channel here about how young people got to do the leading. You guys don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. You have no idea what the hell's really going on. And talk about leadership. You're gonna lead yourself straight to hell. You will get yourselves destroyed. You have no idea of what you're up against. Me, I just have an inkling of an idea, and I admit it. I admit how dumb I am about it. I admit my limitations. The Bible says don't major in evil, don't study it. Boy, there's plenty of evil in the Bible to be studied, though. That's the problem. And there's a lot of evil in this world. A lot of deception. It's pretty bad. So my take on things is very simple. Women in this society are dangerous, and they've destroyed our civilization. They have been destroying it. It was a mistake to empower them. We gave them the right to vote. Oh, really? Show me. Men don't have the right to vote. Men never had the right to vote. Show me in the Bill of Rights. Show me in the Constitution. Show me in the Declaration of Independence. Men's right to vote doesn't exist. So here we give priority women's right to vote. Why was that? Because we were going to unite the women, and they united all right, and they just started to destroy us. The first thing they did was the temperance movement. They were going to take away our alcohol. And what did that give rise to? Organized crime. Highly, very extremely organized crime. Yeah, we had to create the FBI. That's organized crime. That's not in the Constitution. That is not a legal entity in a constitutional republic known as America. They should be done away with. Actually, they should be all taken into custody and debriefed, researched like the criminals they are. But men aren't allowed to stand up anymore. Honey, do this, honey, do that. The women have got you distracted. You can't do anything without your wife's permission. And I joke with you all the time. I walk in the store and pretend I'm on a mission from my wife. I'm on a mission. I don't understand what my mission is. I hate it. Don't you hate it? And the guy, he's a veteran. It's like, yeah, they send those guys out all the time on missions and don't tell them what the hell they're up to. And the women, well, and of course I told the guy, I says, no matter what I do, I'm going to get my ass chewed. Oh yeah, they all identify with that. We all get our asses chewed by our wives. They outrank us. They pull rank on us all the time. Moms are screw-ups at this point. Mom's always going to outrank son. I understand that. I understand that quite well. But I'll tell you, towards the end, I was getting tired of her bullshit, and I was realizing what she had done to me. I was just starting to remember the childhood injuries and the nature of those. And I wanted to ask her about those, but she was too frail, too fragile. And on her deathbed, I didn't dare say a word about it because I knew there's nothing that could be done about this. It's not going to help anything. And my mom called me up because she wanted to thank me for choosing this family. Now, where the hell did she get that idea that I chose this family? I would never have chosen this family, is what I wanted to tell her. but I bit my tongue. And she wanted to tell me what a wonderful mother she was. And she wasn't a good mother. Not to me. I was the lightning rod. I was her whipping boy. I was the one she yanked and about broke my back. I didn't get medical attention. Couldn't sit up. My dad thought I had a bad attitude. Nobody thought about taking me to the doctor or looking at me. And my mother, I think she knew what she did and ignored it and was hoping it would go away. And my sister saw it and she wailed on it. Oh, she jumped with joy. Hunchback, 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 and slammed her elbow down on that protruding wing of mine, that protruding scapula, my shoulder blade. And that part of my lung, that upper quadrant, remained furled up from age 7 to about age 50. 49 or 50, one or the other. I don't try to dwell on that shit. Yeah, I got the wounds. It hurts like a son of a bitch these days. And when I die, I'm going to be in agony because of that thing. And I still can't breathe properly and freely like you do. My ribs don't float freely. I had a little girl. She was a physical therapy intern. She was cute as a button, and she had tiny hands. I have small hands, and she had tiny hands. And because of that, she was able to get in between my ribs and put a lot of pressure on me. And it gave me a tremendous amount of relief. My lungs were flexing again. My rib cage was flexing. But it's not as automatic as it is for you. It's certainly not as easy. I have to actually use some effort at times. So I've been forced to develop myself. I still bodybuild to this day. I can't quite get enough of it. I wish I had stronger joints and all that so I could do more. I love pumping iron. Trainers getting a better sense of humor as we're getting older too. Of course, we're both getting older. I think I'm better looking, Lance. Hey, I got my hair color coming back. Yeah, it looks so weird. I cut it right off, man. You can see how much hair I have. I guess I'm a Q-tip. Mr. Clean, bald-headed. Yeah, Mr. Clean, all right. I've had a bit of a colorful life. As far as you guys finding out about it and all that, I just don't give a shit anymore. Man who's got nothing to lose is really dangerous. Yeah. And I'm like, my next door neighbor's a borderline bitch. So I basically had to defend myself because she's attacking me in my home. She's dangerous to other people. So I put it in writing. And I copied it to management. And I mean, I told her, don't ever talk to me again. Don't ever approach me, not even to apologize. There's nothing we have to say to each other ever again. But there's other women in this park that are like that as well. And I try to help them. I guess my helping is offensive. I had one that couldn't carry her laundry very well. I guess she felt offended. She doesn't walk as well. You know, I could run if I had to. And I walk pretty freely, but I got to keep it up all the time. I can't give up on that. And I carried some stuff and moved heavy stuff around for her that she couldn't do. But she goes across the street behind the cars to avoid me. I think she's in a lot of pain. I got another woman here. It's kind of big and kind of goofy, and it's got to have that short hair and strut herself around like she's something. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her around my dog. She's weird. You can see the level of hatred towards men right on the surface, and it is deep. Why bother? And they're upset because they're alone? That's what's going to happen to you. You're going to be alone because we men are going to walk. We're walking. A lot of us getting passports and going overseas. I don't want to travel much anymore, but I will if I can. Man, if I get some youth springing back into this body, oh yeah. But, and I can't seem to get hardly anybody to work, hardly anybody to realize the value in work, and follow through. And it's like, I'm sorry, but if you're not willing to do that and take care of yourself and bring yourself up by the bootstraps, and you're not willing to take responsibility and think I'm just supposed to bring you a bunch of money, well, really, and you haven't worked in a long time. Oh. You're that beautiful. Okay. I don't dare ask what you do for a living. It's not my business. I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to marry you and raise your boys up. Hell, I don't want anybody touching my mom. I mean, seriously. You got 3 boys? Seriously, it's only normal for those boys to say, don't touch my mom. Leave my mom alone. Don't you touch my mom. I mean, that's how I feel, you know. I'm sure her sons feel the same doggone way. It only takes one to spoil the whole thing, but you got 3, and they can take turns, or they can gang up on you. I can't believe it when these 15-year-olds are way over 6 feet tall. What the hell's with that? I mean, you know he can kick my ass. I'd have to kill him. And you also know these women won't allow you to father their children. You can't touch baby bear. They're not going to give you the authority, which means you're stuck in a worse situation than ever. Forget it. I command respect. I know I kind of laugh at myself. Do you really command respect? Well, basically, it's real simple. I won't take part in bad scenes. Woman's going to get emotionally violent, not physically violent. I'm gone. It's always one step away to the physical stuff, and women like that will initiate battery, and I will be blamed for it. Our local police will blame me for it, except for some. They've been through it themselves and understand what the hell's going on. But the courts will always back the female. So, you want me to take a chance on your ass? Sorry. It ain't worth the risk. I'm enjoying my solitude. Oh, I get lonely. I really want companionship, but dare I take the risk? It's not worth it. So that's why men are leaving, going, and we're secluding, and we're making our own way. And we're quite content and happy with it. We're actually able to save money. We can delay gratification and work on projects. We can work on ourselves. We don't have somebody running us ragged. Honey, do this, honey, do that, keeping us off balance. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, there's some men that have got some wonderful wives that will cover their backs. But it's a dance. It's a balancing act. You know? Some women are pretty smart at understanding that and doing their part. You know, a smart woman understands she's got to cover her husband's back. Boy, those people that are so well married, I envy them and I admire them. And of course, when I talk to them, they tell me it's so much work that this is it. If this doesn't work, John, I'm not getting married again. And I'm like, and of course, I got one friend who I thought, man, we were hanging out together, skiing, all kinds of stuff together, partying together, playing guitar together. I mean, a little mechanical stuff. I'm not any good at it. Friends usually are. But anyway, I thought this guy would be a bachelor forever. I go off to Berkeley College of Music. I'm in Boston. He comes up with his own stationery, stick figures. He draws a frickin' moose on it. I mean, we're from Alaska, you know. He's going to put a moose on it and something else. And he come up with it. He thought it was cute. He thought it was neat. And I'm like, cool. I mean, he copied it on the colored paper. It's his stationery. By the way, he become a cat lady. Ask him how many cats he has. And look at him and watch him count. I think he knows, but he's not always sure. He's got so many of them, he doesn't know if they're still around. He's got indoor cats and outdoor cats. He's a cat lady. I think when I see him next time, I'm going to bring him a box of wine. Say, hey, all cat ladies have to have box wine, so I thought I'd get you a little present here. He's married. He got married. He writes me a letter about he's met this woman. She's his best friend. Whoa, Frank, what are you doing? I mean, you're the bachelor of bachelors. You're one of the men of men. Frank was like a god. We'd go out on a ski slope and he'd be doing crazy shit. Dumbass me was right behind trying to keep up with him and do it. And I saw a lot of sky, a lot of air, and a lot of it was on my back too, because we were doing some jumps that I would never do if it wasn't for crazy ass Frank leading me down the slope. I mean, somersaults and flips and going off Eagle Rock, which you are not allowed to do today. And the last time when I was at Alyeska on the ski patrol, and I was telling them we used to ski off this, oh my God, did those guys have a fit, because you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. I know it's 200 feet. So what? I mean, when Frank's leading you, you'll do anything. The other thing was that Frank knew when it was good powder. And he knew that, we could do it. We could handle it. He also knew our butts would be dragging, but it was soft snow. So it took everything we had when we landed and took that shock in our legs. And, you got to go. You got to give. And your butt will just barely bounce off the soft powder. And you've flown through the air. So, yeah, I've been off Eagle Rock at Mount Alyeska. Haven't you? Doesn't every man go off Eagle Rock? Powder isn't that often, so we might catch it a couple of days in the season. That would be it. It's really an ice slope, an ice mountain. It's a hell of a steep mountain, and it's quite a place to learn how to ski on. If you can ski Mount Alyeska, and if you can cover all those slopes, you're a pretty damn good skier. I didn't do very well on the expert ones. They were really expert. And the secret was you couldn't get down the mountain without going through a little bit of advanced stuff. They kept that quiet from the public because they didn't want the public panicking, but it's true that you always had an advanced bottleneck. Maybe it wasn't expert, but it was advanced. And if you were a beginner, it was like, well, we had to get people to the slope. It's business. Oh, it was beautiful up there on the mountain. The air was so nice. Once in a while, we go off the north face, I guess we call it. And some of my buddies would take helicopter rides up on the glaciers and have the time of their lives. I wish I'd have done that stuff, but it was pricey. So I did what I could do. Women don't have to respect men. That's your option, but don't expect us to hang around. I mean, these days, I'm old enough. Some of the women open doors for me. I let them do it now. I'm like, why not? I mean, I'm getting a little bit of respect for a change in my life. And I still hold the doors for them, but I choose very carefully because you can see some of these women are going to be pissed off because you held the door for them. Yeah, I went through that era where they decided they were going to kick our asses. Oh, yeah, and kick us to the curb. A lot of them just plain hate us. So you want us to hang around with you when it's okay for you to hate us? It's okay for you to exploit us and take advantage of us? It's okay for you to hit us and beat on us? No. And these courts are all biased in your favor. Destroying the family is their job. Destroying the American family, taking down America, it's always been their goal. And that's why they organized you and gave you what the men didn't have, which was the right to vote. At a federal level, it was a state's issue. It should go back to being a state's issue. Hell, I don't care if a state says only women get to vote. That's the state's prerogative. Or if they say only married men can vote, which would make a lot more sense because then you have one vote for the family and you don't have the family conflict being worked out in public and putting the screws to this country. How the hell do you think people like Bill Clinton get elected? It's because you ladies like that shit. Wow. You didn't realize that? You liked that bad boy? You liked that bad boy shit? You liked his whatever you want to call it. I'm sorry, but you do. And then we've lost other elections and elected other people because of the women's vote. Yeah, Bush Sr. come out of office. Don't get me wrong, he was a bad dude. He was one of those guys helping to assassinate Kennedy. He was there in Dealey Plaza, and it was Take Your Son to Work Day. The other president was there too. They're both parties to the murder and the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. One is still alive. My God, if I was a benevolent dictator, I don't think that'd be the case. I think he'd be tried. And I think he'd pay the ultimate price. Oh, what? You're telling me I'm a Christian, I have to forgive? Really? Which Bible are you reading? Which big box church are you going to? Get ready for that box of wine down the road. And the cats. Frank, you're a cat woman. God. He loves his cats. There's not a cat. He's never found a cat he hasn't liked, and he takes them all in. Frank and his wife started adopting children, and they had their own. Man, he's got a maternal instinct like you won't believe. And he was a manly man. He was like a god on skis, man. I mean, he was about the same size. We aren't that big, but it's like the spirit in him was just so big. It was bigger than mine. Men are okay. Men can nurture. Men love. I don't think women love. I think women are, as they say, open for business. Whereas, and I think, actually, I have to tell you this, I think only we men love. We can love at first sight, too. You women do. You'll never understand that, I know. You will never understand a man. And you think we should be trying to understand you. Well, the sad thing is that we do understand you better and better. And it's not getting better and better. It's getting, really? And I'm supposed to sleep with that? Sleeping with the enemy. It's not a joke. Some of these women hate their husbands so much. My God, kept asking my supervisor, why didn't you get a gun? I mean, you need to be able to protect yourself in the house, you know. I mean, I come from Alaska. It's like, we got to have guns because we're part of the food chain. And we shoot our fish, too. Because if you don't shoot that big halibut before you bring in the boat, it'll kill you. I know, you think that, well, you don't think, you don't know. You don't go traveling. You gotta go hang out with whale hunters for a little bit up there. You wanna get an eye opener. Go hang out with the whale hunters, and there's different groups of them. Yeah, baby. And the natives and their attitudes with their women and their women's attitudes are so different. Yeah, the women refuse to hunt. Why? Because as the bearers of life, it is forbidden them to take a life at all. The men do that work. They go out and hunt. They bring it home, baby, and the woman takes care of it. Remember, in Alaska, you're part of the food chain. It ain't that casual. Not when you got a bear charging you. Not when you get it between a moose and a calf, which is more dangerous than a damn bear is, and you wouldn't think so because it's just Bullwinkle, right? Wow. And finding your way home across the tundra, across the ice and snow, reading those winds, reading the snow, the angle of the sun, being able to preserve your ass, taking out a flask of, oh my God, that oil that they suck down. I understand it works, but you ain't going to get me drinking it. That is not an acquired taste. That is a genetically, that occurs over generations. I'm sorry, but we aren't all the same and we aren't all equal. I'll never forget when the little native girl wants to give me, I wasn't Dr. Kent back then, I was a music therapist, wants to give me muktuk. She's a cute little girl. Oh, she was precious. You know those little native dolls you see that you buy from the artist? She'd have been the inspiration for one of those. And she had a great spirit about her. And she brings up the muktuk for Mr. Kent. She set me up. I put that in my mouth, and instantly I knew I had made a grave error, a big mistake. And she laughed, because she says, to us it's like a snow cone. It's like candy. We love this. And I'm like, man, I couldn't get that taste out of my mouth for 4 days. She had a good joke. I had to go right along with it. She set me up and got me, and I think she even had an audience for it. She even had some other of the students there, you know. But you got to look at some things as being affectionate. I miss the kids. A lot of them were suffering in the Jesse Lee home. I didn't read the charts. They were heartbreaking. When I heard what some of the kids had been through, I think I went off and cried a few times. Yeah, real men don't cry. We're not allowed to have strong emotions. Don't you cross me, damn it. And don't you threaten my home or me. Women do it all the time and think it's okay. I can take half of his stuff. I can put him on the street. I can make him sleep in his car, homeless, because I got the courts. Hey, baby, you don't have us anymore. For a reason. Your courts have made it impossible for us. We're not going to go there. Every time I meet a woman that's a little bit engaging and kind of nice and maybe even attractive, I remind myself, it's not worth it, John. It's not worth the risk. You've been down this road before. It's always a bumpy road at the very best. Except one, the one I messed up with in college. Yeah, I still miss her, and I miss those days. And I feel kind of foolish. But I'm not divorced. I had an annulment, and the ladies out there tell me, tell the truth, Dr. Kent, you're divorced. Look, lady, it's legally an annulled marriage, which means it never happened. So if I say I'm divorced, I'm a liar. And if I tell you I'm not divorced, I'm a liar. So I guess no matter what, I'm screwed. Because you understand better. You understand best, and it'll be your way or no way. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll hit the highway. And you'll take the low way. And we'll see who gets where, when. This is number 160. I'm Dr. John Taylor Kent. I'm running to be your president. As a member, as the only member, because there's no one else good enough, of the Benevolent Dictator Party, Ph.D. And I have a Jewish handler. I asked her to handle me. I mean, she's got a sense of humor, and she will get right in my face and go toe-to-toe with me, which is not a trait that I really like in a woman, but I like the fact that she stands her ground. She's intelligent as can be, and, I mean, I do know that she should watch my back. You know? That's nice. That's what a man needs. Oh, shucks, I'm talking myself into her. No, we're not going there. It's not worth it, John. Come on, man. Leave her alone. Just be friends. Remember when the women always said, let's be friends? Well, today I say that to the women because I want to wait. I want to search them out. I want to check their characters out. And above all, I want to be able to talk to a family member If the family member tells me, I wouldn't do that if I was you, then I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You just saved me a lot of pain and trouble. And to you young single women out there, I got a word of advice. Build that relationship with your father. And ask your father, Daddy, get me a husband. Both your parents will go to work helping pick out a better husband than you're going to pick out for yourself. There are psychological reasons for that. We will cover those in other videos. I'm over half an hour, well over half an hour, and I'm going to keep these things shorter so I can get some more views, and I want to bump up. Well, I want to get a little more popular. See, I'm running for president. I want your vote. I need your vote. You need to vote for me if you want your republic back, if you want your country back, if you want your nation to survive. Otherwise, baby, you're going down. It's going to be hard. And I know, I'm stuck here watching it all. But I can't know anything. How could I know anything? I'm Dr. Kent. What's left of Dr. Kent after all these years is what I prefer to say. Yeah, I paid my dues. I've been researching this horrible planet, this horrible world, since I was about age 5. And my parents couldn't answer my questions, and they were stymied. And they kept trying to understand what I was talking about. They kept trying to, but they couldn't answer my questions. My questions were profound. And of course, all of you would rather hear smooth things. You'd rather be lied to. You want to hear platitudes about how you're the greatest in the world. Well, the big man falls the hardest. It's going to be a hard fall. You understand? You have a long ways to fall. And you're almost at bottom right now. You got to take the trash out. You got to clean up your own neighborhoods. Can you imagine cleaning out your own neighborhood? Oh no, we have the police for that. Really? Really? Oh, the police are going to clean it for you. Hell, they're all doing time, biding their time, like they're in prison, waiting for their damn pensions. You need your militias. Don't know what a militia is? Read the Constitution. It'll tell you what a militia is about. All right, you are listening to my channel. You already understand this stuff. You're already ahead of the average yokel by so much. And I hate to heap accolades on you and tell you my audience is the most intelligent. My audience understands more than any other audience. Well, if you just tuned in, I suggest you go back and listen to the old videos. The Flow of Consciousness. It'll keep you out of trouble for a little bit anyway. It'll give you something to do. And above all, buy one of my Bibles and read it. And do what it says. That's the real blessing. Remember, there's only one Holy Trinity. That's the Father, the Word, and the Holy Ghost. Yeah, it was mistranslated in your Bibles on purpose. Not mine. Mine's the best Bible ever. Proper name, King James Bible. Proper name, Persian of the King James Bible. Exceeds the King James by so much it's just not funny. You will make fewer assumptions in error. You will not be led by the nose or deceived as readily when you read my Bible compared to the others. Yes, the King James has the Spirit. So did the Geneva Bible have the Spirit. But this one's got them beat. It's brand new. And by the way, it's less than half the price of the competitors. When you follow one of my links, if I put it in here and you can find it, if it says Kent up in the address, you got the cheapest prices anywhere. They keep promising they're going to raise the price. And I missed my own sale, though. They didn't tell me it was coming. I put it in my basket, and I was ready to buy myself the top-of-the-line Bible, black with large print with the tabs, because mine's getting a little worn. I go through one about every 3 or 4 years. This one's built better. It's lasted me a little bit longer. But the dog ran across the pages the other day. Mark your Bible up. Study it. Study to be approved. Bless yourselves by reading those scriptures. Push your way through. Or, you don't like a section? There's plenty of others to read in there. Go to it. Don't worry about it. That other stuff will have greater meaning in the future. There's still stuff I have to discover. And I'm on, what, my 15th read through? And by the way, how important is it? It's so important that Paul, after he had his conversion on the road to Damascus, where Yahshua appeared to him, and he went blind, Paul secluded himself. And we don't see him in public. I know you read it and you think it just was instant, the next day. 20 years later, after 20 years in the scriptures, he comes forward and does his work. Yeah, that baby had to seclude. He had to study. He had to make himself approved. That's how you get the Holy Spirit. In my book, you don't go babbling in tongues, doing some idiotic crap like that. I'm not saying it can't happen that way, but I don't believe the people that do. I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I mean, it hasn't happened for me. Maybe it's just because I'm a little too square-headed. Maybe it's because I am just a little too questioning. I don't know. But Yahweh bless you. May you enjoy your food and your drink today. May you choose your steps wisely. The steps are laid out for you. Just choose your path wisely. That's all you got control over. Everything else is going to appear random to you. But that's just a sign of how highly organized it really is. And in case you're wondering, Yahshua's heart, the toroidal force field from that heart of his, baby, that's what's holding this neck of the woods together. I know you don't understand you don't understand me. You don't understand what I'm trying to tell you, but I'm telling you, the force field coming off that heart holds this universe together that you and I are partaking in. Yeah, baby. It's that powerful. It's that big, and it's that good. I'm glad I could tell you that.